Welcome to the deep dive. So, have you ever had that feeling where, okay, you can read English, understand it pretty well maybe, but then you try to speak and it just doesn't come out right? Or you freeze. If that sounds like you, stick around. Today, we're doing a deep dive into, well, a shortcut really, to getting fluent in spoken English, giving you that practical know-how. We're going to zero in on this technique called shadowing. Specifically using it with the 5,000 most common English words. Think of it like your personal speaking gym.
Yeah, it's more than just theory. It's about getting past just, memorizing stuff. This method really activates your practical skills. It helps you use the English, not just store it. It's very hands-on.
That's a key difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knowing versus actually using. So, okay, let's unpack this. What exactly is this shadowing technique we're talking about? How does it work?
Sure. Shadowing is actually pretty straightforward but powerful because it gets multiple things working at once. It's basically 3 steps. 1, you listen to a native English sentence. 2, you repeat it like right away, immediately. And you really try to copy everything, the tone, the rhythm, the pronunciation.
Like an echo.
Exactly like an echo. And 3, this is super important. You have to speak out loud.
Not just in your head.
Definitely not. Thinking it doesn't count here. What's fascinating is how this gets your brain, your ears, and your mouth all working together. It's this connection, this active practice that helps you sound more fluent and faster than, say, just reading or doing grammar drills.
That multisensory thing. So is the main takeaway that older methods often miss that speaking connection? Is that why they feel slow sometimes?
That's a big part of it, yeah. A lot of focus on input reading, listening, but not enough on the output, the actual speaking part.
Makes sense. What's the biggest mistake people make when they first try shadowing?
Oh, definitely practicing silently. Or being way too worried about getting every single sound perfect right away. The point is to get the words out, train your mouth muscles, catch the rhythm. You just gotta speak. Make some noise.
Okay, make noise. Got it. Now, about the words themselves, why these specific 5,000? Some people might think, isn't that limiting? Won't I sound basic?
That's a really common question. But fluency, real fluency, isn't really about using fancy, rare words. It's about connecting, being understood easily. And the data we looked at shows something pretty amazing, these 5,000 words. They cover about 90% of everyday conversations.
90%? Really?
Yeah, 90%. So if you really master these words through shadowing, you're building a direct path to speaking naturally and confidently in most situations. You actually end up sounding more natural, less like you swallowed a textbook, because you're using the words real people use every day.
Okay, so depth over breadth, master the common stuff. All right, this is where it gets really interesting. How do you actually do this day to day? Let's get practical. Give us a feel for the kinds of sentences people would be working with. The source mentioned daily use ones. Things like, I wake up at 7 every morning. Simple stuff. Or maybe, do you want some coffee?
Mm-hmm.
She works at a hospital. Just the basic building blocks.
Exactly. Or they are planning a trip next week. He doesn't like spicy food. Just normal everyday sentences.
And then there were social sentences too.
Right. The ones for interacting with people.
Like, it's nice to meet you.
Crucial one.
How was your weekend? Or can you help me with this? Things like that.
Yep. And let's meet at 5 o'clock. I'll call you later. The sort of glue for social interaction.
Okay. So you've got these sentences. How do you structure the practice? What's the plan?
The daily plan is actually super manageable. It's about consistency. Just set aside, say, 10 minutes a day. That's it. 10 minutes of listening and then repeating those sentences.
10 minutes, okay.
And remember, always speak out loud. No silent practice.
Right. Heard that one loud and clear.
Good. Then, maybe once a week, record yourself. It sounds a bit cringy maybe, but hearing yourself is incredibly helpful for noticing pronunciation or rhythm issues.
Okay, self-assessment. Makes sense.
And then try to use at least one new sentence you practiced in a real conversation that day. Just one. Oh, I like that. Applying it immediately. Exactly. It reinforces it. There's this mantra, speak it to keep it. It really works. You use it, you remember it.
Speak it to keep it. Okay, so that's the daily routine. What about bigger picture tips for making faster progress with this?
Yeah, a few key things really help accelerate it. First, try to focus on the rhythm and the melody of English, not just pronouncing individual words perfectly. English has a flow.
The musicality. Right.
Exactly. Second, and this is huge, don't obsess over mistakes. Just keep talking, keep the flow going. Momentum is more important than perfection here.
Let go of the perfectionism.
Yes. Third, When you practice a sentence, repeat it a few times, maybe 3 to 5 times. That repetition helps lock it in.
Repetition, got it.
And maybe the most important one, make it a habit. Seriously. Consistency beats intensity every single time with language, little and often. Because, fluency isn't some test you pass. It's not a destination you arrive at. It's really a skill you build day by day.
So it really sounds like the message is, forget the giant grammar books for a bit, maybe. Focus on this active, consistent shadowing with common words if you want to speak more fluently faster.
Pretty much. It targets what you actually need for conversation. And it ties into that final thought from the source material, which is, fluency isn't about perfection. It's about repetition.
Mm-hmm. Repetition over perfection.
Yeah. So maybe the question for you listening is, how can you adopt that mindset? How can you prioritize just doing it, repeating it over that fear of making a mistake?
That's a great challenge. So we really encourage you to give this a try. Start using your ears and your mouth. Start shadowing. Keep repeating. Keep speaking.
Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more English learning videos. See you in the next lesson.